Hey, what's up guys? It's Uchiha here, back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Was Madara's Reincarnation, as one of you guys have been suggesting me this movie for a long time. So yeah, shout out to you my guy, and here's your request, I guess. And before continuing this video, if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Then please do if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our story. P.S. It's an unscripted one as well. Our story begins as we see Naruto lying on the ground, panting heavily. He was bleeding both internally and with the wounds that were inflicted to him by chakra rods, shot on him by none other than Kaguya Otsutsuki. He, with the help of Sage of Six Paths power and memories of his previous life, and his dojutsu, was able to defeat and reseal the rabbit goddess. But it was already too late. Everyone on his planet, in whole elemental nations, was already dead. As he was reminiscing on his life, he turned dark when he was at the age of 8, when his sister was named the heir, even though he was the eldest child. His parents neglected him in favor of his sister, thanks to a stupid prophecy, hated prophecies. And then, at the day when his parents announced on both of their birthday that his little sister was going to be the clan heir, he lost it. Something inside him cracked that could not be repaired anymore. He lost the feeling itself. He couldn't feel anything, any emotion. His black eyes were in huge pain as he ran to his room, which he locked. As he saw in a mirror, his eyes turned crimson red with 3 tomos as they spun and formed a Mangekyo Sharingan. He was scared, but once he blinked, the Sharingan was gone. Then his mind was invaded with memories that he did not knew, memories of another person, that he only breathed out his name after the whole memories passed on. Madara, Uchiha, he said, and hence he continued with his plan from then on, the plan of the Moon Eye that was implanted in his mind to get rid of this accursed hatred from this world. And he pretty much succeeded. He gathered all of the Jinchurikis with the help of Zetsu, but he was in the end betrayed by him. But he was managed to separate and not be absorbed inside Kaguya. And then, once the Moon Eye plan was launched, everyone was sealed inside of it, even his own family. As Naruto then, with the help of the Sage of the Sixth Path, defeated Kaguya and resealed, as he was now here sitting, reminiscing on his life, as he shed tears. As then Hagoromo Otsutsuki appeared in front of him. "Ah, I see, young man. You were able to defeat my mother and reseal her again." "Yes. I don't mean to be rude, but your mother? Yes, you don't have to say anymore. Even though she is what you are going to say, she is my mother." "I know. I just wanted to let you know." "Nice fun, young man. So, what are you going to do now?" "I don't know," Naruto said. "I'm dying here, old man. Can't you see? I can save you. I can save everyone." Really?" Naruto said. "How?" "I will send you back in time. That's how. It all depends upon you, what you will choose, Naruto. Whether you choose to preserve or destroy, it is up to you. As you can see, when you choose to destroy, this happens. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to preserve or are you going to destroy again?" "I don't know. All of them hurted me, and I couldn't feel anything. And now, after so many damn years, I finally shed tears. I know how it feels to be empty, Naruto. I was once when I sealed my mother, but then I found love and moved on. I will give you another chance. You will absorb me as a whole, and my power will be given to you, and you will be sent back in time." "Are you sure?" "Because you are not him. You are not my son. You are you, Naruto. Even though you are his reincarnation alongside my son's, you are still your own person. You have your own traits, your own personality. Live your life as who you want to be, and not them, and not by their ideals, at least. As Naruto's eyes widened, and then he cried openly, and for the once in his 18 years of life, he smiled. A whole-hearted smile, not a fake one. Thank you, Uchiha-chan. As the sage of the six paths chuckled and placed a hand on Naruto and performed 7 seals in one hand. As Naruto's body started to glow alongside his, remember Naruto, it is your choice whether to preserve or to destroy. It all end up in your hands. As Naruto nodded and closed his eyes, and once he opened his eyes, he was back in time inside his own room, in his family's house. It was kind of nostalgic, now that he thought. And then he heard his mother's voice. Naruto, Narumi, come down. It's time to have your breakfast, and then you'll be off to academy. As Naruto was close to shedding tears, he could still remember how his mother pleaded to him to stop this all, and how he just shoved a katana straight through her heart, with tears in his eyes. His father tried to stop him, but he beheaded him with a single slash to his neck. Then his sister, even though he killed his own parents, her parents, because he lost the right to call them his parents, didn't lose faith in him, and at the end, even when he extracted the QB from her, she smiled at him and said that she loved him. Naruto shed some tears as well. This time I am going to make it right. Naruto then walked down. As along the way, he met with Narumi. Hey Naruto Nichan, how are you doing? I'm well. It's been 10 days since his birthday. He could remember from his memories since he had talked to any of them, and his family was getting quite, worried about him because they knew what they did was insensitive and they didn't even consider talking to Naruto. And after talking to many of their friends, which were mainly clan heads, they now regretted their mistakes. As Naruto walked down, he still felt like he was betrayed, but he was happy that his family was alive. He was going to protect them and his precious people. At least at one time, he used to call them that after he changed. He then closed his eyes and opened them again as he sat down on the table. Good morning, he said to everyone, which caused a flinch in his family because he hadn't spoken to them. His parents looked at him as Minato spoke. Naruto, I know why you did that. You believe her to be the savior. I believe too, Naruto said with a soft smile on his face as he looked at Narumi, who looked at him with wide eyes, and so did Kushina and Minato. Naruto, we were thinking of giving that title back to you. We are sorry, we were insensitive. We didn't think this through. We were just so happy. I know what we are going to say is quite horrible, but we were so, obsessed with her training that we forgot about you. I'm so sorry, Naruto, Minato said. I want to improve things, our relation between us. Will you give us a chance? Well, I am willing. At least I was trying for the past 8 years or so, as they all flinched, as Naruto chuckled. Don't worry, I forgive you. As they all felt guilt in their heart. They have left Naruto home many times, now they could remember. And it was all reminded to them by none other than their friends, mainly Mikoto Uchiha, who slapped both of them and reminded them what they have done after she saw Naruto rush to the upper floor inside his room. He hadn't came out for 2 days. He was crying. Even though his mother went to talk to him, he didn't answer. After that, it seemed when he came out, he had lost his emotion, but now here he was, talking to them, giving them another chance, and finally forgiving them. I see, Minato said, finally getting happy as Kushina shed some happy tears, as Minato had water in his eyes. As Minato then said, will you like to train with us again, Naruto? Fine by me, Dad. So, when are we going to train? Well, we have to start with basics. You don't have to worry about that, Dad. I already got that covered. How? Minato was confused. Well, I went to libraries and gathered as much books as I can. I kind of inherited that from you. Eh, what do you think? As Minato and Kushina were quite surprised. He could be possibly prodigy if he could do what he said after reading books. Say, Naruto, come with me in the backyard. As all of his family went after finishing their breakfast. So, you say that you can... What can you do? I can water walk, perform clones, and solid clones as well. Wait, solid clones? Where did you learn that? I kind of figured it out. If there was a way to make simple clones or illusions, I could make a solid one as well. So, I tried to find a way, and I kind of created it. Impressive. What it is called? It is called... Solid Clone Jutsu. Wait, what? How so? Well, it doesn't poof away unless I order it to. Show me. Naruto made a solid clone. It was similar to him in every aspect. It looked like a perfect copy of him. As he talked. So, why would I have... Why am I called here? He asked, in a brooding voice. Similar to that of Madara, Naruto just sighed. It seems they have their own personality as well. This one's kinda broody. Shut up, Dobe, he said, as Naruto grew a tick mark. Oi, I'm the original creator here. Dobe. As he looked at his family. So, which one of you want to fight me? As every one of them were shocked to see Naruto's this aspect of personality. What kind of personality, other than his normal one, does their son had in him? As Minato then said, I want to test it. Go on ahead. I don't want to attack. No fun. Fine, go on. Try your best. As Minato formed Rasengan and flashed in front of Naruto and smashed it inside of him, Naruto didn't even budge from his part. As the smoke cleared, Naruto's eyes widened. What? How is this possible? That attack alone should have thrown you miles away. Better luck next time. So, what else would you like me to do, Your Highness? He said with a sarcasm in his voice as he looked at Naruto, who was now having a tick mark and his eyebrow twitched. You can go, Naruto said as he made a seal as the clone disappeared. See, it's a solid clone. Naruto, that is amazing. That could be an S-rank jutsu on his own. As Narumi was quite shocked after seeing what her brother has created. She was happy, as the QB inside of her, which was on good terms with her, said, Little child, I can sense great power within him. Like the old man. He thought to himself at the end part, as he then said, Narumi, be wary of him. What? What do you mean? Why should I be wary of my own Nechan? Well, he holds something powerful inside. Very, very powerful and dark. What? What do you mean? He holds darkness. I can sense it. His emotions, they are more negative than mine. What? How can this be? I do not know. But darkness covers his heart. Just be wary of him. I will try, but he is still family. Kurama then said as he shut his eyes. As we go to outer world, as Narumi was broken out of her thoughts, as her mother said, Nay, Narumi, you're going to be late. Naruto already left. What? Why did you leave without me? Listen, Narumi, our family is getting back together after the whole ordeal, and we're lucky that he gave us a chance and forgave us. As Narumi nodded. So, I want you to try and get close to him as much as you can. Can you do that for me, honey? Her mother asked her, as Narumi nodded. I will try my best, Mom. Good girl, she said with a smile as she ruffled her hair. Nay, Mom, I want to tell you something. What is it? Can you call Dad home back? He just left. He will be cranky if he got home, because he's in his Kage mode, remember? Her mother chuckled. Can it wait for the night? No, it is important. After seeing the seriousness in her daughter's eyes, she called for Minato. After throwing a kunai that Minato gave her on the ground as Minato arrived. Is there an emergency? No. Then why did you call me, Kushi-chan? You do remember that I am in my Kage mode, right? I have to do a lot of work. He said in seriousness as he crossed his arms. As Kushina then said, our daughter wants to talk something. Can it wait, princess? No, dad. It is regarding Naruto, Nii-chan. As both the parents got serious. What is it? Well, Kyuubi told me something. He said he sensed great darkness from within Nii-chan. What do you mean? He senses. As Kurama took over her body, her whisker marks grew frail. I do not know, Kushina. Minato. As they both, looked at her in confusion. Kurama, what do you mean? Half of the Kyuubi was still inside of Kushina because she was going to die, and it was resealed back into her so she could be kept alive, and thankfully Kyuubi helped because Kyuubi was already good terms on Uzumaki's. Well, Kushina, I sensed great darkness from him. His heart was covered by it. As both of the parents became quite worried. How can he be covered by darkness? I did not know. As she then sensed her own Kyuubi awakening. Yes, I have sensed it as well. I'm afraid it is much greater and stronger than mine. As her eyes widened, as she looked at Minato worriedly, mine sensed it as well and says it is greater and stronger than his. As Minato was worried now, as he then said, we have to keep an eye on him, Minato. Kushina said, because God knows what he might do if he loses his control. Don't worry. Kyuubi-fied Narumi said, he's keeping it locked up. What? Yes, Kushina said her own side of Kyuubi. He is keeping it locked up. He doesn't want it to be released. But if it does, then all hell will break loose. We do not know. He has great potential, much greater than all of us Bijus combined. That is all I can say. Be wary of him. As the mother was now even more worried of what the Kyuubi had told her. As she told Minato what the Kyuubi informed. As Narumi went back to normal. As the family of three were worried for their son and brother. Naruto was sitting into the academy on the other side. As he looked out of the window, he had black hair, black eyes, pale skin, much paler than any of his family members, and 3 whisker marks on his cheeks. As he then sighed. And then he thought to himself, I'm happy that I am back and get to meet them again. I have a lot to, redeem for. I'm going to get my redemption. Pay for my sins that I did in my previous lives. No, Naruto told himself, I'm not them. I am who I am. As Naruto smiled after reminding himself of the verse that the great sage of the sixth path told him. As he was about to, be sent back. As then Iruka entered alongside Narumi, who said that she made it in time, but Iruka told her that she was late, and there was bickering and everyone snickered as she got near Naruto, empty seat, and sat down, which caused Ino and Hinata to quirk an eyebrow. Why would she sit with Naruto? Even though both of the girls liked Naruto because of his personality, but they didn't get it. Why would she sit with him? Because he was a loner, which added to his own mystery. As Sayuri Uchiha, who was also sitting there, was looking at Naruto with interest and his sister with distaste because she wanted to sit with Naruto. And she was about to move until his sister came along and sit there. As she then spoke, that bitch. I will get the next chance to get close to Naruto. Yes, I will. Just wait for me, Naruto, she said to herself as she smirked, and Uchiha won. On to the other side of the classroom where Naruto and Narumi's table was. Narumi spoke. Nii-san. Yes, Narumi? Is something bothering you? As Naruto then chuckled. What? No. Why would you think that? I don't know. It's nothing. It's just me, probably just wondering. Don't worry. Yes, Naruto said as he patted her head. It didn't happen for the past 8 years. Naruto never patted her head, but Rumi had to admit it did feel good. She feels safe. For the first time, outside of her mother and father embrace. Thanks, Nisan. Don't worry, sister. Just, well, focus on the studies, okay? As the class went on, and they studied nothing more than just history of Konoha, Naruto was quite surprised to learn about his past. He was seen as a villain. He smirked and just scoffed at that. Better than the one who killed all of them, he thought, at least to himself. Time went by, and Naruto slowly started to gain more friends, much to Narumi and to his annoyance. Narumi was the one who was influencing him to gain more friends, and she introduced him to, well, Shikamaru Nara, the clan heir to Nara clan, Kiba Inuzuka, clan heir to Inuzuka clan, Shino Aburame, same could be said for him, and Choji Akamichi. Naruto became friends with all of them, and they spent the whole academy years together. Naruto as well trained with his family. They didn't understand why Naruto was so perfect in everything he tried at first. Well, he smirked in his own mind and thought, this will happen when you live for 3 decades and centuries and live 3 different lives, and in all of them you are a badass. He thought to himself, his own personality coming out. His sister will struggle even with the help of Kyuubi, but Naruto will ace everything. And then came the time when Jiraiya came to take Narumi away. It was the time of their graduation. They were all 13 years old. Naruto was the Rookie of the Year, as Sayuri was the Kunoichi of the Year. Following behind her was Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze, as both of the parents congratulated their children as they passed and celebrated at the Ichiraku ramen store. Naruto didn't like ramen, but he went with them because he was bonding with his family now. The tension between the family fell as they let their guard down around Naruto. Naruto was a prodigy in the making. Everyone in the village now recognized him. In his past life as Naruto, nobody did so because he would always cry until he finally broke and left the village for good. And then he became the most feared ninja in all elemental nations, so feared that people would wet his pants alongside some of the Kages. He even wetted his pants when he encountered him. People would say that he was the incarnate of the devil himself. Some would say he was a reincarnate of the Madara Uchiha himself, which was worse than the devil. And he himself was worse than Madara Uchiha. Now his goal was mainly to find out Akatsuki and kill them all, because he knew that before of old age he died. Once he saved Obito, he sent him on a mission to, well, gather the tail beast. He couldn't believe himself. He was now fighting his own student. He was going to beat his ass, obviously. And as for Zetsu, his blood boiled whenever he remembered that prick. He was going to tear him apart, separate the black and white one, and then seal them separately, far, far away from each other. Yes, that is what he's going to do to them. After the graduation was done and completed with all protocols, teams were selected. The only odd ones out were Hokage's children, which surprisingly Jiraiya took apprentice of Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze, because he still believed like a buffoon that she was the prophecy child. As Kushina then stepped in and took her son as her apprentice, Naruto was happy with this gesture, because this didn't happen in his previous life. He was already out, battling against many mercenaries and shinobis as a mercenary and a hunter nin who worked for no one. As he shook his head and got out of his stupidor and followed his mother, both of them started to train hard in Kenjutsu. Naruto took out 2 swords, which were like Anbu, short tantos, as he then started to wield them and created his own sword style with the help of his mother. He made it his own sword style in his previous life, but he made it look like that his mother helped in this one. And it was an S-rank sword style when it was displayed to the council and the Hokage. The Hokage was puffing his chest with pride alongside Naruto's mother, as both parents congratulated their son for creating a double S rank sword style. It was called Sword Style of a Raging Black Dragon because of Naruto's appearance. And Naruto then was sent with his mother on many C-rank missions. Why? Because he had already trained very hard. He was already at a high Chunin level, which he could be at a low Jonin, but he lacked the experience. As both mother and son went to eradicate a bandit camp. It was a long ago bandit camp. Why? Because of the leader. He was a double S rank civilian and he caused many deaths. He was worse than Nobunaga. Naruto then looked at the camp with his mother on a tree at the night. As Naruto then said, "Mother, I will take care of it. You will stay here." As Kushina's eyes widen, and then Naruto, "I will help you." "No, I will do it alone. I want to test out my, Genjutsu style that I created." "Naruto, are you serious?" "Yes, Mom. Believe in me, please," he said with a soft smile as he vanished in a dark flash. As Kushina's eyes widened, "How can he?" As then she heard screams inside the camp. After 10 minutes, the whole camp went silent as Naruto, alongside with many girls, came out. They were naked but covered with, clothes or rugs, whichever he could find, as they all thanked both of them. As Kushina then brought them to their homes after tracking them down. Most of them were from near villages, but one of the girls was from far away, from vegetable country. And turns out that she was the daimyo's daughter, and the daimyo was happy to receive her and gave both shinobis a welcoming party alongside with offer to stay, which they declined respectfully. But the leader then insisted on an alliance and formed a scroll to be delivered to Hokage. Both of them bowed and left the next day. As they arrived back in Konoha, Kushina informed Minato and the council of what occurred and how Naruto was the one who defeated all of them. When she asked how he felt, he said he felt numb inside, which caused many of them to be worried. But then she looked at Naruto and he smiled. He informed everyone that Naruto was still the same. He didn't act like it was any different. He was indifferent to it. Danzo gained some respect for Naruto that day because he was a true shinobi who turned off his emotions at the time of a battle and then turned them on, which was quite, not pleasing for him, but it was okay in his eyes, as every other, clan head alongside with Hokage himself was worried about his son. Naruto was strong, and his rank was shifted to an A rank threat in the bingo books already, being a Chunin now, on his own right. Chunin exams were coming in, now we're talking about it, but before they could be, performed, 1 month prior, his sister team, which consisted of Sayuri, Uchiha, and Sakura Haruno, a Konomichi team trained under Kakashi Hatake, his supposed big brother, never got an eye with him. He never talked to him that much because he was much more influenced on Narumi. Naruto was a loner, and he liked it that way. But with the help of his sister, he gained many friends, which in his, thought were annoyance, but he didn't care much. He was happy now with his life. In all 3 of his lives, he was happy now in this 4th one that he gained with the help of 4th Hokage. As he and his mother were sent to help out their team in the Land of Waves. Turns out their C-rank mission is, misinformed and it was an A rank. Naruto was, quite surprised by this and knew that whom he had to battle. He heard of his sister escapade in previous life. He knew she could hold on of her own, but she was close to being raped. He wanted to kill that prick with his own hands now, as his Sharingan flickered in his eyes. As Naruto traveled silently with his mother, as both of them dashed, more like rushed towards Land of Waves. As they arrived, they encountered that Zabuza was already battling with Kakashi, and there was an ice dome. Naruto and his mother nodded to each other as Kushina went to battle against Zabuza and help out Kakashi, while Naruto went to look through Dome. As he took out both of his tantos and yelled, "Sword style! Raging tornado!" As Naruto started to spin, jumping in the air as a tornado of swords were formed. He spun so fast that it looked like a tornado. As it clashed with the ice dome, there were sparks before the ice shattered completely. Once he stopped, he saw that Sayuri was lying on the ground with ice needles in it. His eyes widened, and then he saw that his sister was also bruised badly. His eyes then narrowed. His Sharingan glowed. A skeleton figure started to form as Naruto then, with his half Susanoo, struck down his sword that he created with chakra. His Susanoo was blue, similar to that of Madara. As he struck down, it destroyed everything in its path as the other side of battle stopped. "How is this possible?" Kakashi asked as his breath hitched. "Is he an Uchiha? No, it can't be. He's mine and Minato's son. He was born along Naomi. Both of them were born at the same time. They are twins, even though they are different with hair color and eyes and skin color, but he's our son. I don't get it. Maybe it's along the line of Sensei. It might be possible that one of his ancestors might be Uchiha, but he doesn't have any gene inside of him, nor do I, that's for sure. But how does Naruto have it? God knows how. But looks like he's helping it. What is this technique?" Kushina asked. "It is Susanoo," Kakashi said. "It is one of the Uchiha's Sharingan's ultimate technique, but how does Naruto have that Sharingan? It is only achieved when you kill someone close to you." As Kushina's eyes widened, and then Kurama growled inside of her. "It's his Sharingan." "Whose?" Kushina asked. She knew what she was going to hear wasn't going to please her. "It's Madara's Sharingan." "What?" "Not only his, I can sense his power as well." "Whose?" "It's Indra's." "Who's Indra?" "Sage of the Six Paths' betrayed son. The one who betrayed him and his brother, the heir to the Ninshu Asura. Indra Otsutsuki, the ancestor and creator of the Uchiha clan." Kushina's eyes widened. Her mind froze. Her world froze. In front of her eyes was her son, and Kyubi informed her that it might be possible that he has powers of Madara Uchiha or those of Indra Otsutsuki Uchiha, both legends of their own right. She was frightened. That is why Naruto has so much darkness inside of him. But whom did he kill? Then her eyes narrowed. "I have to figure this out myself," she thought. As the battle ended, the accomplice, the ninja with mask, was beaten badly. On the other side, we can see that Zabuza was frozen in terror after seeing this giant construct of chakra. As Naruto turned towards them, his eyes Mangekyo, as all of them flinched after seeing this. And Naruto then smirked. "Would you like to dance?" These words sent shivers down everyone's spine who was present there. Even Kyubi was shivering. "I can't believe it. It is true. He is their reincarnation." "What?" "His reincarnation of Indra and Madara. I can feel it from his eyes. I can sense it from within you. Don't you feel the malice?" I can, but it's not directed towards us." "Yes, it's directed towards him. You must stop him now, or otherwise he will kill him for sure." Naruto started to walk towards him. "Now let's see. You're a swordsman, right?" As for Zabuza, he was sweating after seeing this. It was as if he was fighting against some other kind of monster. Something he feared, much worse than a Biju, much worse than Yagura. "So, tell me, how would you like me to play? Would you like some shadow clones? Or would you like me to single-handedly hand your ass?" As this was going on, clapping was heard on the other side. Well. Look what do we have here. I knew you weren't going to be able to defeat them. So, Gato, what are you doing here? Zabuza, I was going to betray you, and now that I see that you're useless and are going to die, then yes, our deal is off. I came here to say that. As Zabuza's eyes widened and then narrowed, as Naruto turned towards him, You, who are you? I am none other than Garo himself, the one who regened over these lands. As then looked towards the girls who were fallen. Ah, I see. As he licked his lips, which caused his mother to snarl alongside Kakashi, whose eyes scrolled, as Naruto's eyes glowed even more red. As Naruto's Susanoo then formed complete structure. You wanted to touch my sister? As Gato was now gulping, as he saw a huge construct. As then, every one of his goons started to run away. Hey, where are you going? Help me here. I paid you all. Looks like your goons are gone. What are you going to do now, little man? As Gato was pleading on his knees, please let me go. I promise I won't show my face here. I won't. As Naruto then looked towards the sky, as he then said, Kirin. As a huge chakra dragon of lightning formed as it struck Gato and destroyed everything, even the bridge itself. As the whole earth shook, spectators watched with their eyes widened. It cannot be possible, Kakashi said. Such mastery over lightning chakra. How? And that attack alone destroyed so much. Tazuna fainted because his bridge was destroyed, as Naruto, lost his giant mass structure of chakra as he was back to normal, as his glowing red eyes looked towards his mother. Don't be afraid, Mom. It is still me, he said, as he moved towards Narumi. His mother was so shocked that she didn't move from her space, as Naruto's bent down on his knee as he looked towards Narumi's beaten form alongside with Sayuri, as he put both hands on each of them, as his hands started to glow green. Is that healing jutsu? Kakashi said, as Naruto started to heal them. After a minute or so, they woke up. What is going on? As both of the girls' eyes widened as they looked towards Naruto, the Sharingan, as then Sayuri's eyes narrowed. How do you have that, Naruto? I possess it because it is my dojutsu. How? Don't worry, Sayuri, I didn't steal it from everyone or anyone. It is my own dojutsu that I possess from my birth. As Naruto's Sharingan vanished, as he then smiled, his warm smile, as Narumi started to cry and hugged Naruto. It was so scary, Nisan. I thought I was going to die. I was angry. Kurama was starting to help me, but then you saved me. Well, what is your Nisan for? I'm here to protect you, Naruto said. His words were heard by the other occupants. As then, Haku woke up. I'm sorry, Zabuza-sama. It's okay, Haku. You did well. Can you please heal him? Naruto turned towards Zabuza. Why should I? I promise, we won't ever show our faces in front of any of your family member or yourself ever again. Please spare us. You have been spared. As Naruto healed Haku and said, get out of my face and never show me your face again, because if I ever encountered you again on any mission, you will fall, Zabuza Momochi. Are we clear? Zabuza nodded, and both him and Haku left with a sunshin as Naruto returned to his family, who were looking at him with gaping eyes. It's okay, mother. It is my dojutsu that I possessed from the day I was born. Kyuubi from inside then said, he's telling the truth. He isn't lying or masking his chakra, so we can feel it. I see. As Kushina was still worried. The whole way back, after the bridge was complete, they didn't talk. All of them were looking at Naruto, seeking glances. Naruto was bothered by it, but he didn't say much. Well, there goes my secret. Thank you, my angry issues. because of you, my secret is revealed, and now they're damn scared of me. As Naruto and his family returned from the mission, Naruto and Narumi were, discharged from their duties, as both Kakashi and Kushina nodded and went to Minato and told him the whole ordeal. After that, Minato called for a meeting and called for Naruto as well. Naruto was standing in the center. His hair was now grown down to his hips, still bald and black. He looked like a miniature version of Madara, except the face was different. As he walked in, it sent shiver down the spines of the elders because they all were reminded of him, Madara Uchiha. As then, Minato asked, Naruto, is it true that you possess the Sharingan? As Fugaku said, what? Naruto, where did you took it from? I didn't took it, Fugaku-sama. Then how do you possess it? I was born with it. As Inuichi and the lie detector from INT department, Genma-san, said, he's telling the truth. He isn't lying. As Inuichi Yamanaka then said, would you mind, Naruto, if I walk into your mind? Well, I would, but I will only let you see what you want to see about my dojutsu. I won't let you see my other memories. Is that okay? As everyone nodded. As Inuichi performed his family technique and went inside Naruto's mind. After 10 minutes, he came out. He then said, he's telling the truth. He's born with a jutsu. But how can this be possible? I even performed the blood test. He is my son and Kushina's son. So we didn't betray each other, that's for sure. And he was born as a twin with Narumi. She has our traits and he isn't. He looks like an Uchiha. Dad, don't you like me now because I am different? Is that what you're trying to say? No, Naruto, it's not. It's just that me and my big mouth. I'm sorry, Naruto, if I hurt your feelings, but you look different from us. So, are you going to say that I look different? I don't belong in your family? Naruto's eyes narrowed as his Sharingan came to life. The three-tomo Sharingan. Then it morphed into a Mangekyo. Mangekyo similar to Madara. As Fugaku's eyes widened. How is this possible? He said, what is it? He has the Sharingan. And not a normal one. It is the only Sharingan that was recorded in the history books as the first eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. What do you mean by that? Everyone else said because they have never seen Fugaku in such fear as he was shivering. It was the Sharingan of Madara Uchiha. As all hell broke loose after that. How is that possible? Civilian said. Okage-sama, your son has the Sharingan of the greatest traitor? As Naruto turned towards him with anger in his eyes. Silence yourself. His voice was calm, yet threatening. Every one of them felt shiver down their spine. As Naruto then looked back at his father. So tell me, you don't want me anymore? Fine. I will not show you myself again. I will protect my sister, my mother from the shadows. That I promise, but I will not show you again my face, Hokage-sama. He said as he left with a black flash, as everyone's eyes widened. Is that? Yes, Harishin. She finished. As the council was in uproar, how could Naruto be born with the Sharingan of none other than Madara Uchiha himself? They feared that if Naruto grew stronger, then he might be strong as Madara himself or even surpass him. This was not the part that they were worried about. They were worried about the part where Madara became insane and betrayed the village. They didn't want that to happen. As Naruto went home and packed his bags and left with a note, his mother and sister cried after they saw the note. Naruto was now in an apartment in the red light district. As he was crying on his, mattress and a pillow. It didn't change anything. I tried. Even in this life I tried. I guess I should go on hunting. If nothing is going to change, then why bother trying? I should focus on my goal. I should focus on destroying Akatsuki. and stop them before the world is in danger, Naruto told himself as he put down his headband there and said, "It's time for me to go. Leave Konoha again," Naruto said as he was standing now on wall of the main gate. He was about to step out and jump away. His heart clenched. Why? It was easy to leave for me in my past life, but now, why it is so hard? As tears started to fall from his eyes. As he then looked behind, he remembered his friends that he grew accustomed to and close to, even if they annoyed him, his mother and his family. As he was about to leave, he heard a shout, "Naruto, please wait!" Naruto turned around and saw it was his mother and his father. Both of them had red eyes from crying as they saw Naruto's tears. "Where are you going, son?" As inside Minato's hand was Naruto's headband. I have a job to do." "What do you mean, you have a job to do?" "I have a duty. Your duty is here, son, with us. Your duty is to serve this village as a shinobi and surpass us. Where are you going? You don't understand, Dad. You will never. I will be leaving. It has to be done, even if it hurts," Naruto said as he vanished in a black flash. It has been 3 years since then, and since Narumi went with Jiraiya as well to search for her Nissan alongside with train with Jiraiya to become strong. As in 3 years, Naruto has encountered many rivals. He has defeated the Akatsuki almost. He has killed Tobi. He has killed Zetsu. He has killed Pain and Konan as well. Without mercy, even if they begged for, Naruto killed them all. He killed each and every one of the Akatsuki, hunted them down like animals, and tore them down piece by piece. The bodies of the victims were delivered back to their villages, respectively, as his name in the Binko book was changed from an A-rank threat and from Black Flash to Akuma no Shinobi. He was a danger, a triple S rank threat. He was now feared by all of the elemental nations, Konoha as well in general. The whole council was afraid of him because he was following the footsteps of Madara. People were afraid because the one person they saw as hero was now the person who could turn on them and destroy them. As after 3 years, his sister returned back to the village. She was sad that she couldn't find her Nissan. She was happy to meet her families and friends, as she saw that as she has grown, they have grown as well. Her father had white hair now, alongside her mother. Both of them looked old, but not that old. So now they had returned as well. On their journey, they found her and they helped her, and she returned back. It was time for Chunin exams again, and she was planning on competing in it because she was still a Genin, even though her friends were Chunins by now. But news were heard that Orochimaru was planning to attack Konoha. It was a rumor, but then after 10 days of that rumor, they heard another rumor that a new village that emerged was destroyed by some force. People thought that it was work of Akuma no Shinobi himself, which caused the Uzumaki Namikaze family to flinch. And once the shinobis were sent there to investigate, they found Orochimaru's remains there. His organs, his body, all tattered up. And people were horrified after what they saw. On the other side, Naruto was now a traveler, helping those in need. He was helping them out. As he then looked towards Moon, and for an instant he activated his Sharingan, his Mangekyo Sharingan, and what he saw, his eyes widened. He then activated his Susanoo full form and started to fly towards Moon. His Susanoo was huge, it could be seen from miles away. As Naruto floated towards the Moon, he was outside of the earth, still covered by his chakra. He neared Moon. As he arrived there, he encountered a person with no eyes. "Hello, traveler. Why are you here on our territory? Who are you?" Naruto questioned. "Isn't it Obvious that you should be the one to answer my question first because you are the one who intruded on us. My name is Naruto. That is all you need to know. My name is Tonari. Tonari Otsutsuki. So Naruto, what can I do for you? I can sense Kaguya. She's breaking free. I'm here to help. How can you help? Naruto then activated the Senjutsu and Ninshu within him as the sun and the moon seal appeared. With these, Naruto showed him his hands. Tonari sensed the power as he then said, "Hi, this way." As Naruto was led by Tonari towards Kaguya's seal. As he arrived, he saw Kaguya was changed in the center of the moon. As she looked towards Naruto, "You, what are you doing here?" "I'm here to seal you again." "Aren't I sealed already?" "No, you're breaking free, I can sense." So what, mortal? Once I break free, I will get back my powers and chakra from all of you." "That I cannot let happen, because you will cause destruction. And not only that, you will hurt my family, which I cannot let you." Naruto opened his eyes to reveal the Rinne Sharingan as his eternal Mangekyo glowed with red blaze. As Naruto neared her, as formed the seal together and clapped her together on her face. The seal got strengthened as there were more chains that erupted from the ground and sealed her. As she struggled and started to shake, "I will break free. Even if it takes me another 10,000 years, I will break free and get my chakra back. I do not care then. By the time then, we will all be gone. But for now, you will be sealed here." Back on Earth, Narumi was able to, in her travels, gain many friendships, mainly from the other villages and alliances as well. She became the new hero of people. She became the sun goddess as she was able to control Kurama's chakra alongside her mother. Both of them were now known as the Red Goddess and the Golden Goddess. Because of her hair, her construct was red. Because of Narumi's blonde hair, her construct was yellow. And both of them were known as Angels of Shinobi. Why? Because they looked like angels and goddesses. They still couldn't find their son/brother whenever they searched, but Naruto wasn't there. To begin with, he was outside of the earth, fighting against those who wanted to come to earth. Why? Well, it was his talk with Kaguya. She informed him that his family will come. The Otsutsuki's will come, even if she couldn't finish what she started. They will. Naruto then smirked and left. Her eyes widened. He couldn't dare. As then, Naruto went to where they all laid, slaughtered each and every one of them. It was Otsutsuki's slaughter. Now he was battling against the king. Many of the karma seals on his arm, but Naruto shattered them all with his ninshu, because he was an Otsutsuki himself, so he couldn't be given that. Why? He was reincarnation of Asura and Indra. And he had ninshu and the sun and the moon seal, so he couldn't be given any karma seal. As Naruto neared the king who was battling him, both of them clashed with swords, him with hammer as Naruto with his tantos, laced with chakra of air to sharpen it. As the king smirked, "Even though we have been battling for what seems like a week, you haven't grown tired, human." As Naruto then smirked, as his Rinnegan activated, he disappeared from there and teleported behind him as he then rotated into a tornado and cut down the king's neck. "Because I'm not human now. I'm a monster," Naruto said as his Sharingan glowed. "It seems all of them are dead." Naruto then searched for every corner of this realm to find an Otsutsuki. He found none. He then returned to Kaguya, who was looking at her. She could sense what he did to her family. "No, get away from me. I won't let you." As Naruto smirked, "What? Are you scared? Don't worry. Now be a good girl and stay here. If you ever tried or bothered with Earth, now you know I'm an Otsutsuki as well. I will kill you, Kaguya. Heed my words. Your clan has been slaughtered. Nothing is left of them. Not even your king stood a chance. So I'm letting you spare." "Why?" to make an example out of you for whoever the force might be outside. If they try to mess with my planet, they will face me and my wrath, Naruto said, as he then disappeared, opening a portal and reappearing on Earth. As he then sensed, it was peaceful. As he'd started to travel again, help those in need, travel from village to village, became a traveler. Those who encountered him reported that the Akuma no Shinobi was back. People were now again terrified. Many sent shinobi after him to either recruit or kill him. All of them were dead, never to be returned. As Naruto was now resting in the Land of Fire, it was caught on by the Guardian 12 Shinobis, which informed Konoha that Akuma no Shinobi was spotted in Fire Country, capital. Narumi, Sayuri, and Hinata, alongside Ino, rushed towards that place. All of them were now Jonins. Narumi was double S rank alongside with Sasuke and her eternal, Sayuri with her eternal, Sharingan now, courtesy of her father who exchanged her Mangekyo with hers. As they traveled, they located Naruto sitting in a cabin in far north side, in the woods of the capital. As they entered the cabin, Naruto, Nisan, Narumi said, my sister. Naruto said as all of them saw, Naruto has grown. His eye was a Rinne Sharingan, which caused many gasps to be heard, and his left eye was permanent Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. As Naruto smiled, how have you been, my little sister? Naruto said with a smile as he patted her head, as she cried, and started to punch him on the chest. Naruto didn't move, he just smiled, and in amusement. Baka, why did you leave? Do you know how much worried we were? I'm sorry, I had to. It had to be done. Were you the one who killed all of them? It had to be done. Do you see me as a monster? No, I don't. She hugged him. Please return. Father and mother, they are in very bad shape. Please. They need you back. We need you back. I will return, sister. I guess my journey is for long overdue now. I should return back to my home and face the consequences, obviously. As the girls all hugged along their travel, Sayuri confessed her love for Naruto. Naruto was surprised by this, but Naruto started to have feelings for her as well, and thought that he might give this relationship a chance. And they started to walk back at normal pace. It took them a week, and during that week, Naruto and Sayuri developed feelings for each other on their travel. Naruto was already together with Kiba, and Sayuri and Ino was already together with Sai. As they arrived back, many of the people were there cheering for Naruto, and stood in front of him were none other than his parents. As Naruto rushed towards them and hugged them. Hey, Ka-chan, To-chan, I missed you all. As Kushina then bonked him on the head. You idiot! You could have told us where you were going. I'm sorry, Ka-chan. It had to be done. Oh, my baby. He's so grown now. As Naruto then put a hand on Naruto's shoulder. It's good to have you back, son. I'm not going anywhere now, Dad. I promise. If you try to, I will break your legs now, Kushina said. Right, Mom. As they all went inside. After 1 month, Naruto was married off to Sayuri. And the Uchiha clan didn't even bother to raise a question why Naruto was the damn Akuma no Shinobi. They didn't want to encase his wrath upon their clan. Thus, he was the strongest Sharingan user out there. So who else the clan heir should marry? As for, Narumi, she married to Gaara. Why? She was attracted to him after the whole Konoha crush ordeal. That was performed by none other than Suna themselves. Why? Because they were manipulated by Orochimaru. Plus, Orochimaru was killed by Naruto after finding out that he was planning. Still that he wanted to attack Konoha. The world was at peace. Kaguya was still on her seal, shivering and crying. and was mentally broken by Naruto because of his rage and wrath that she encased on her clan. She could still hear the voices of her clan belittling her, throwing insults at her. Because of her, they all died. She lost her mind now. She didn't want to return to Earth. She lost her will. And she let herself be stayed in the moon as her sanctuary now. The only place to protect her from Naruto. On the other side, Naruto was happy to be with Sayuri. Both of them had a daughter named Sarada. And Naruto heard that he was an uncle now, as Boruto was born. As Minato and Kushina couldn't help but smother their grandchildren with love. As Naruto was the next Hokage as well, the 6th Hokage. And the alliances between the villages were now more stronger than ever. And the world was at peace. That he achieved. He was visited again by Hagoromo Otsutsuki as he was seeing the village from atop of Hokage monument. I say you have achieved peace finally and chose to preserve Naruto. Yes, I did, Oji-chan, and it helped. You were right. I am my person. Though you didn't have to be so brutal with my clan, though. I apologize about that, Naruto said, with a little bit of smile as he stroked the back of his hair. I apologize. No worries. They were all planning to, well, cause chaos, and you stopped. You protected my family. That all it's matter. Thank you, Naruto. Or should I say, Sage of the Sixth Path? It's Naruto's eyes went, what? You have absorbed my powers, kiddo. You are the next Sage of the Sixth Path. Congratulations. Protect this world now. You're an immortal. But what about my family? You can grant them immortality if you want to. But careful what you wish for. Remember, Naruto, you are a guardian now. Protect Earth and preserve. Yes, I know, Naruto said with a sigh as he closed his eyes. Then he heard another voice. Who are you talking to, Naruto-kun? As he looked back, he saw his wife and a little girl, which was 3 years old now, in her arms. Nothing, no one. How is Sarada? Daddy, do you want to play with me? Not now, princess. Now it's time to just see what we have achieved. As they all stood atop of Konoha's monument and to see a sunset falling on their village with a smile on their face. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha and I'm signing out. Peace.